Hello, Internetians. My name is Josh, aka Ultra Player, your coach of the New York Metagross, welcoming you to ICBA Season 3, Week number 6. We are currently coming off a 3-game win streak, and we are 3-2, and we are looking for our 4th win of the season in this 10-week season. And we are going against Omega Jolteon, coach of the Chicago Carracostas. Now, something I didn't realize that I haven't been doing for ICBA is I haven't been putting in timestamps to where you can skip the team builder and go straight to the battle. So if you want to skip the team builder part where I talk about my team and how I came up with the process to build this team with my front office and everything, there's not a, I don't know if there's a timestamp, but there is a, I'll put something up that shows when to skip to if you want to just watch the battle. So, other than that, moving forward, we are here, like I said, for Week 6, and we're going against Chicago Carracostas, and he has a scary, scary team. Don't forget to go check out Omega himself. He has a very, very, really good battler. He's actually also in my front office, which is fun. Also, shout out to me for leaking fluids. I'm sick, so if my voice goes out for any reason, then yay. But he's a very good battler, and I highly respect him and very much take his opinions into account when building, except for this week, so in which I had to kick him, so we wouldn't, you know, take all of my ideas. Anyway, let's talk about his team, shall we? His team consists of Deoxys, Speed, Tapu Koko, both of them being his 2 Zmon users, which is ridiculous. He has Slowbro, Darmanitan, Hawlucha, Nidoking, Whimsicott, Seismitoad, Shuckle, Vullaby, and Mega Scizor. A very, very scary team. So Deoxys Speed, very fast, of course, able to outspeed Scarfers that are very, like, ridiculous Scarfers. Like, I believe it outspeeds, like, base 103, 4 base Scarfers. So, ridiculously fast, decent offensive, 95-95, not anything to write home about, but still something to note. Tapu Koko, of course, one of the best mons in the format, best electric type in the format. Volt Switch, Defog, Calm Mind, Screens, U-Turn, can run Choice Scarf, can run Choice Specs, can run Life Orb, can run Zapplay, can do so much and be just so scary. Especially since he has that Hawlucha, which is, of course, one of the most threatening sweepers in the game. Slowbro, great physical wall, possibly a Spadef wall. Very much expected this to come as Salt Vest. Basically, what I was expecting was a Hazard to Deoxys. I was expecting a, kind of like a offensive-ish, hold on. I had like an offensive-ish Tapu Koko thinking, you know, kind of like a mixed offensive. I was expecting a Assault Vest Slowbro. I was expecting a, like a potentially Stealth Rock Nidoking, like Stealth Rock Nidoking, Spikes, Deoxys, Tapu Koko, Slowbro, Hawlucha, and then last mon either like Encore Whimsicott. No, not Whimsicott. I wasn't thinking Whimsicott in this battle. It was another battle where I had faced Whimsicott. Mega Scizor to take Stop Dragon Slam, which he has Tapu Koko for, but that does not want to take an Earthquake. Anyway, I wasn't really expecting too much of the Vullaby. I wasn't really expecting Shuckle. I have plenty of Defoggers, and then a lot of my mons are either slow or off the ground anyway. I was expecting basically Seismitoad could have come, like I was kind of like on it. Actually, yeah, Seismitoad was definitely a decent bring. I think I actually had that on the original team. I don't remember because this was days ago. Yay for me knowing stuff. But Seismitoad could definitely have come because it's a good way to handle my Lycanroc Dusk, which I've been bringing a lot and using a lot. Anyway, he has Darmanitan, which can be a great wall breaker. Choice Banded, destroys everything. Jellicent. He has a Nidoking, great wall breaker, Whimsicott, great support, love Whimsicott. Shuckle and Vullaby are there and they're not coming. Mega Scizor, great for priority. SD can be a threat, but I have ways to handle it. Anyway, so this battle, this team, was really, really hard to build. Before anything, my first and like my ultimate goal was to find something that could handle the, I keep forgetting the music I'm using, which I'm using live music this time. I keep forgetting that this music, like, has a break in between times it plays, so. But this battle was just ridiculous to prep for. Hawlucha is such a huge threat to my entire draft, and I needed to find something that could handle it. So that was one of my big main worries, was finding a way to handle Hawlucha, while also simultaneously, handling the rest of his team. And while I didn't immediately figure something out, I knew that no matter what, I wanted Celesteela. I did not know what I wanted with Celesteela, but I knew that Celesteela had to come. And I just left it here. I just put Celesteela on here, and I just let it sit there. I knew it was going to be bulky, so we'll just go ahead and give it the HP. So, I put Celesteela on here and then worried about my potential way to handle Hawlucha. And when I say I went through just about anything I could have thought of, I mean it. Like, I went through every single Mon, I went through every single berry. I thought about a physically defensive Mega Gardevoir to stop a sub-SD Hawlucha. But I still, after Rocks, got OHKO'd by +2 Acrobatics. Or, yeah, I think it was after Rocks. I think it was like an 88 to 101 or something like that. I thought about Chople Licky, but sub. I thought about Volcanion, but Stone Edge. I knew Lightning Rock was not going to be able to break it because it's too fat with the +1 defense. I went through everything. I knew that I'd be able to sub on Gliscor. I ultimately found out a set that would, in theory, stop Hawlucha from killing me. So I have my Salamence. Alright? Hopefully ignore that. Something for later. Great. It's work, but it's something that I can check later. So Salamence. I wanted to Intimidate. And because I knew the theory was that if I could pull this off, it would have to be kind of risky. Like, I would not be able to, I had to be careful, basically. I had to be very careful. Because one wrong turn, one wrong anything, this whole thing could go out the window. So what I ended up doing was Electric Seed. So not only is Hawlucha going to get the boost, so am I under Electric Terrain. Which means I also had to keep Salamence out of the field until Hawlucha came in, on the off chance that he randomly bought on top of Coco, popped a Seed, and then I was screwed. I have Intimidate. So basically, I come in, he goes -1, I go +1. And it really gave me a good chance to take it on. And I knew that I had to have Hidden Power Flying to break through it. I knew I wanted Roost, and that was just about it. I ended up with this much special attack with a Modest Nature, so I can make sure I believe that does all the damage I needed to Hawlucha. I believe it to kill 2 uninvested Hawlucha. And then this spread gave me the best chance of it maximized my ability to take hits from the Hawlucha. And then I just had 4 left over through it in speed, because why not? So I had this. After, I think it was like a day and a half of calcing and going back and forth between this team and not wanting to worry about it and worrying about other teams and everything, I ultimately settled on that. And I stopped building. Had to worry about it another day, because I was angry. But eventually I went back. I was like, alright, I have a Salamence. I have my way to not lose to Hawlucha. What do I do? What do I do now? Let's go back to Celesteela. Knew I wanted a defensive set, need leftovers. I wanted Leech Seed, Protect, and Heavy Slam. And I really, really thought about just going Flamethrower and being basic, having it for Scizor. One, Scissor's not staying in on me anyway, unless it's SD superpower, and even still, can't really break through me. Well, can, but it's going to have a tough time. And I knew that it was so easy for him to go out to Darmanitan on this. Darmanitan is so easy just to come in on Celesteela, like in sub, and cost some people games. Sorry to jolt. But sub Darmanitan could have come in on me. But I wanted a way to pressure it. Of course I have Leech Seed, but I wanted a way to make him feel even more pressured to not just go for sub. Which, spoiler, he ended up bringing sub Darmanitan. But I wanted him to not feel the need to click it versus me. I also wanted something that helped me wear down his team. Because basically my way to win was gonna end up needing something like a lot of damage off everything. So, ended up going with sub myself. Sorry, I'm distracted. So I ended up going with sub myself. And if I go for sub, as he goes from Darmanitan, he's going to, I feel, like, attack me. I don't feel like he'd go for sub himself, because what if I'm offensive and I start setting up? But anyway, I ended up with this spread. And this allows me to just basically take hits from everything. I can take hits from Deoxys, I can take hits from Whimsicott all day, Seismitoad, Scizor, Volibee, Shuckle, Slowbro. Basically, the only thing that really hurt me are Koko and Darmanitan. Hawlucha, if it starts setting up, yes. And of course, Nidoking with coverage for me. So, this just gave me an all-around really good Mon to take on his team, because it basically just walled everything. Kind of. But, we'll get into that. So, next Mon. Alright, I had some backbone. However, there was one Mon that I knew I wanted to bring. Just looking at his team, looking at what he could bring. Just like, he had two good switch-ins to my Volcanion, right? He had two good switch-ins. I knew that both of those Mons were really annoying. To what I ended up wanting to win with. I knew I was going to have Lycanroc on here. Cody suggested Lycanroc. And I'll get into that set in a second. But having Volcanion is also really nice. Kilauea, I think is how you spell it. And I think that I've learned that's how you pronounce it too. It's Kilauea. A-U-E-A. One day I will spell that right. So anyway, I had Kilauea and I had Blue Moon. Added those two to the team. So, if I wanted Lycanroc really doing something, I knew, first of all, he suggested Accelerock, Fire Fang, Drill Run, and I believe it was Crunch. It was Crunch. So I added those 4 moves. Did not really think that I needed too much special things. So, I believe this is the spread. Let me double check. Yeah, this is the spread I ended up going with. So I have 68, 20, and 4. This just gives me a Life Orb number. So I take the minimum amount of damage from Life Orb that I can. And I just throw the rest in defense. And I'm adamant. So I'm adamant. It's really nice. Because the next Mon going down his team that can outspeed me, or that under base 110, is this Darmanitan. But Adamant Life Orb Accelerock kills that anyway. So I went enough speed to outspeed Nidoking. Really nice. Gave me a little bit of bulk. However, I needed to beat the Seismitoad. I knew that Seismitoad was going to come. At this point. I was really confident that Seismitoad was coming. Because it was the only way to reliably handle my Lycanroc, unless it was Scarf, which I was also expecting. I was really much expecting a Scarf Nidoking at this point. Or, that was it. His Hawlucha maybe could handle me to an extent. Maybe his Slowbro, but I also had Crunch for that to heavily weaken it. I knew that his main switch into my Lycanroc was going to be Seismitoad. I wanted to get rid of that. I did not want him easily switching into it. So, I ended up with a Volcanion that was sub-toxic. Whoops. And it was Steam Eruption and Flamethrower. And obviously I had Leftovers. And what this did is it pressured both the Slowbro and the Seismitoad. Because I can sub on them. Seismitoad can break my sub with ground-type moves, but that's it. And the only thing that Slowbro can break my sub with is Thunderbolt or Psychic. So, well, with the spread I ended up going with. I knew that I didn't really need a lot of offensive investment to really start hammering at his team. Because, like, in general, his team does not handle this Mon. Like, Whimsicott, Scizor, Nidoking, Darmanitan, all get hit super effectively, and Shuckle. Seismitoad and Slowbro I have Subtoxic for. Deoxys does not handle me. Tapu Koko's too frail, as well as Hawlucha. Volibee, Toxic. So, I ended up with a really bulky variant. I had max HP. I only had a little bit of special attack. And I had this much speed. And this let me hopefully outspeed a Seismitoad. Then I made the rest of the EVs go like this, I believe. Yeah. So I went like this. This spread, I'm not really going to jump too deep into it, but basically it allows me to stub on stuff like Scizor, Size Toad. There's also giving me a check to Scizor, other than just Celesteela. Takes some of the pressure off of that. Stun on variants of Vullaby, on some variants of Whimsicott, and it lets me stub up in switches too, just because I threaten so much. So having this is very nice, just outspeeding stuff like Size Toad and then a little bit of special attack. I believe it's to help me break a sub, but I don't remember which sub. So, but this helps me wear down the Size Toad and Slowbro for what could potentially be a late game like a Rock Speed. So the next one I ended up with, I knew I was going to have, if I started breaking through on build, I knew I was going to end up with Mega Gardevoir, which I did. So I have Dove here. Dove is very nice. I wanted more offense. Team was looking really really bulky. So I wanted some offense. And this is really nice versus him. I knew looking at his team that he had 3 switch-ins to my Mega Gardevoir and Assault, well, 4. An Assault vs. Darmanitan, which, LOL, thank God, because it can do less damage to me. And it's not fast and everything. That's 1. Thought it was very unlikely, though. So, yeah. Assault vs. Slowbro seemed a lot more likely. Can have Run Iron Tail to a carry me guaranteed. Have the bulk take on Hyper Voices, Shadow Balls, etc. Mega Scizor does not like HP Fire. Can prioritize me with Bullet Punch. Nidoking. So I took all of that into account when building the set. I wanted Toxic. I wanted Hyper Voice. So Toxic allows me to hit that side or the Slowbro. And again, helps me wear down one of his 2 best ways to handle my Lightning Rock in the Slowbro. And a Hyper Voice. If I ever got this thing on anything, I decided that if I ever got it in on something like a Hawlucha that wasn't boosted, or something that I knew I'd threaten out, like maybe Vullaby or something, that I was going to click Psychic, which I ended up putting on here, because that's when I started getting more worried about a Scarf Nidoking. I was very, very confident that Scarf Nidoking was going to be a huge problem. Because, I mean, think about it. You go into your Nidoking on a Mega Gardevoir's Hyper Voice, roll, because it's not a Assault Vest or anything, the calc says, okay, Psychic kills. And it's faster, it Poison Gems you and it kills you. And then, of course, I want a Hidden Power Fire for the Scizor. So I ended up with this. My spread, bit weird, but not too bad. Alright, so it's 200 special attack, it's 248 speed, and it's 60 HP, and a modest nature. Modest, I get to do a lot of damage, which is nice. So the speed, again, allows me to outspeed Nidoking. If Darmanitan's coming, it's going to be slower, I feel. It's not going to be super fast, just because of my speed tiers. Or it's going to be max speed to speed time with Drapion. Big whoop. I have Lycan Rock, and I have 3 fire resists. And do I get another one? Can't remember. No, I don't. I have ways to handle Darmanitan, in my opinion. But anyway, I thought if it was going to be coming in on my Gardevoir, it was going to be slower anyway. But I have 200 special attack and 60 bulk. 60 bulk allows me to take, I believe it's going to be a Acrobatics from a non-infested Hawlucha. Or a non-boosted Hawlucha, I believe. Or something like that. Maybe an uninvested Bullet Punch from Scizor. Can't remember. But it's here. Have some bulk. Shout out to me. But this is where the team was at. By the time I went back, I had put in Flamethrower for Scizor. Because, once again, I wanted another Scizor check. Because I'm like that. And I went up with Roar. So, this ended up almost being Defog. Defog would have been really nice just to get rid of hazards and such. Because he can easily hazard stack me. So, that almost became Defog, but I ended up with Flamethrower just because I didn't have Flamethrower on this, and I wanted these 2 as nice Scizor checks. Because I was very scared of Scizor. SD Scizor, if he got rid of this, could easily just plow through what I ended up bringing. But, for my last one, I ended up with Zebstrika. Named it after my little sister, for reasons. Specifically, reasons being, she once played Pokemon Black and White, caught a Zebstrika, or caught a Blitzle. It's like, give it a nickname, fuck yeah, name it Pikachu! And since then, I always just remember that. But anyway, definitely should have made this Defog. You'll see in the game why that was important, but it ended up not mattering. But I have Zebstrika. So I wanted Zip Strika because I needed a way to handle the Tapu Koko, because I wasn't really confident in Gliscor being able to handle the Tapu Koko, just due to the fact that Hidden Power Ice and such, and I was definitely expecting like a Life Orb or a Zap Plate or an Expert Belt variant. But I have an Assault Vest, I have Lightning Rod, and I have Volt Switch, Hidden Power Grass, Overheat, and Thunderbolt. Nothing too surprising there. But the spread and such was this. So I had 12 in speed with a timid nature. Sorry about that. But I have 12 in speed with a timid nature, which allows me again to outspeed the Nidoking. But also allows me to maximize my special attack and my bulk 4 in HP. So this is here is mainly on my Tapu Koko check. It could also take a hit or two from something like Whimsicott, maybe the Deoxys Speed, like Cycle Boost isn't going to do ridiculous amounts. I can take a hit from Slowbro, pressure that, etc. I don't do a lot to Nidoking. However, I feel like if it's the Scarf variant that I'm expecting, I can handle it. I can pivot around it. But this ended up what I was bringing. I wasn't the most confident in this team, but I definitely thought it was something that might win me the game. But I was very unconfident due to the fact that Hawlucha still like destroys me. I had no good answers to it. It could set up on my Lycanroc. He didn't know it could set up on my Volcanion, I don't think, but it could set up on my Volcanion, etc. But let's get into the battle, shall we? GG me. So anyway, as you can see, 6 mons I brought. If you didn't see this team builder, well, you don't know what we brought, but we brought those 6 mons, and he decided to bring his Toad, his Deoxys Speed, his Slowbro, his Tapu Koko, his Hawlucha, and his Darmanitan. So no Nidoking was really nice to see. Like, really, really nice. No Whimsicott was kind of nice. No Scizor. It made me mad because I had fire coverage all over across this team. Almost every single mon had fire coverage because I was so scared of a nasty Scizor. But, like, whatever. So anyway, no Shuckle, no Vullaby as predicted. No Nidoking, like, no Scizor, like I said, no Whimsicott. So I'm okay with, kind of okay with this team. However, he does bring Lucha, he does bring Koko, he does bring Deoxys Speed, he does bring Threat on Threat and Threat. However, looking at this team, I was very scared in leads because I had nothing, really, that handled both Koko plus Darmanitan, like a Scarf Darmanitan, as leads. That was not fun for my brain. So, I believe I took the entire time to decide a lead, and I ended up leading Volcanion. Alright, so I ended up leading Volcanion, as you're going to see. And the reason I led Volcanion is because it handled Darmanitan, which I thought was a more likely lead. Scarf Darmanitan I thought was a really, really good lead on his part, and it allowed me to check that. And he ended up going with Toad as his lead, which is very okay. I'm very okay with, because my Volcanion is meant to pressure this. So immediately I go for Sub. I know that I take an Earthquake. I know I take an Earth Power. It does like 50%, and I know that Sub allows me to Toxic it or Scout, because he might go for Rocks, which is very likely because he led off with it. It's probably his Rocker. So I go for Sub here, as he goes into Slowbro, predicting a Steam Eruption or a Grass. I don't know what he was predicting, really. But he gets scared. He knows what's coming. He goes back out into a Toad, knowing now that I might not be a Grass move. However, I am Toxic, which means I'm going to be able to potentially beat this thing 1v1. I'm at least going to be able to chip it down really, really low. Toxing it in general is really nice, especially since I get another free turn off. I can now click Flamethrower versus it. It's going to do 6% here. He's, spoiler alert, does not have any leftovers. So next turn I'm going to be doing like 20-25% with my Flamethrower. And I can just start whittling this down with Toxic, which is really good because this is one of his main answers to Lycanroc. And with no Scizor, I'm really, really looking good with my Lycanroc. All I had to do is potentially get rid of Hawlucha, which I have an answer for, and then Lycanroc can easily click a Calyrex late game and potentially win this game. Crunch for Slowbro too, so I don't really need to get that thing too weakened, but I do want to get it Toxic or weakened with my Gardevoir. So he's going to get up his Rocks. But that's my game plan, basically. But he's going to get up his Rocks as I'm just spamming Flamethrower, getting damage off, really getting this thing low, doing like 15-20% each turn. He finally goes for Earthquake to break my sub, after Toxic and my Flamethrowers have just taken a huge toll on this Toad, which I'm very much okay with. I was very much okay with this first couple turns, just helping me out so much. Helping me out. He's really just being real nice. He's being a real nice guy, letting me get this damage off on Toad. I ultimately decided I didn't want him predicting me to go to Celestia like Flick and Scald, so I ended up going for Substitute. 25% off on my Volcanion is okay. As this next turn, he's going to die to Toxic, I believe. And if he doesn't, I can pick him off with a Flamethrower, because I am faster, as we've seen through these basketball turns, unless I've just been really lucky with speed ties. But anyway, gonna get some leftovers recovery. I'm gonna end up pretty healthy at about I think it's like 75 to 80%, and his Saturn Toad's gonna go down immediately, which is very nice for me, as he's gonna go to Deoxys speed. Now, for some reason, I'm really dumb, and I didn't do too much research into Deoxys, and I was just like, okay, so Spikes is coming, Taunt might come, very scared of that, gotta be careful. Let me go to my Celesteal as my check to this. So, first of all, Deoxys is a Z-Mon, and 2, Deoxys is Thunderbolt. All things I would have, maybe thought about. Where is this? Maybe thought about if I'd done more research, but I'm dumb, so his Deoxys speed's gonna come out, and he's going to fire off a Gigavolt Havoc. Very good in my opinion, very good play. However, Celestial is fat. Celestial's gonna take this, and that's gonna tell me that he's timid, max special attack, as I get some leftovers recovery. And I'm gonna go for Protect, because I want to, get some HP back, as he's gonna go for a Spike predicting that. So that's not good. Not good at all. However, I know I do take a Thunderbolt right now. I take one Thunderbolt right now from this range, or Thunder Punch. I'm gonna go for the Leech Seed. He's gonna go for Nasty Plot. Not gonna lie, I was really not doing too well at this point. Not really excited about what was going on. He has 2 hazards against me. He has a Nasty Plot Deoxys in front of me at +2. Psycho Boost and Thunderbolt is very likely. However, it ended up being a Bolt Beam, because look at my team versus Bolt Beam. So here, I predict him to go for another Nasty Plot. I'm gonna go for Heavy Slam, as he just fired up a Thunderbolt. Very good play on his part, catch me on the 50-50. I could have gotten more damage off on this thing, which I should have gotten more damage off on this thing. It would have been really nice later. But I now have to go to my Dove, my Gardevoir, because I take any +2 attack from this thing, except for like Shadow Ball, which pray to God he doesn't have, which he again doesn't. He has Bolt Beam. So I have to go to this, and I have to click Hyper Voice, put in range of Accelerock. Luckily, he decides to go to Slowbar. He decides to save his Deoxys. Very good, because it would have put a huge dent in my team. But I'm going to Mega Evolve here, and I'm going to fire off a Hyper Voice. I also knew that at this point, the fact that as soon as I saw him switch this in, I knew it was going to be Assault Vest. For that damage, confirms it. He's Assault Vest. I know Iron Tail's coming, or anything is coming, but I knew I lived anything. So I'm going to go for Toxic. I want this thing Toxic no matter what. This thing getting Toxic is so nice. Lightning Rock does so much work. Lightning Rock does so much work to his team now. And he does Iron Tail me. He does do a lot of damage. He does hit. Who hits? But anyway, I'm going to, I believe, stay in. Just go for Hyper Voice in case, just because the damage is a lot better. He goes for Ice Beam, predicting my Salamence to come out. Well, I'm not really predicting, but like in case I went to Salamence, because it's still killed. But I'm going to lose my Gardevoir. Not good, however. I've gotten Silent dead. This thing is at like 4%. I'm going to go over to my Volcanion, because the only thing I really want taking damage right now. And if I had Defog on my Salamence, that would have been so nice. This is why. I'm going to go for Sub. I know he dies to Toxic, and if he's not Psychic, I can have a Sub up at the end of the turn, but he brings Psychic. If it wasn't Psychic, I would have been in such a good position, because I would have had a Volcanion behind a Sub. As he goes down, nothing wants to take me on. But anyway, he's going to lose his Slowbro right now. I'm kind of like worried, because nothing has gotten the damage I want for Lycan Rock. However, he goes down to his Darmanitan. I have no choice but to stay in, let this thing die, and I have to go Lycan Rock, because it's the only thing that immediately just like destroys the thing. He goes for Rock Slide. Scarf Darmanitan, very scary. I know I take a Rock Slide with my Lycan Rock. And I have to go to this. I do know that Accelerock kills this thing, so that's very nice. Accelerock will also 2 a KO anything he decides to go out into, except for Hawlucha, but he does not want Hawlucha getting damage right now. He stays in. He lets me kill his sub 3 attacks Life Orb Darmanitan, which was not Scarf. And I'm like, okay, this might be doable. However, I'm still like in my mindset, like I'm probably losing this battle because Hawlucha. So this turn, I want to talk about this turn. I thought a lot about this turn. I don't remember exactly what my 40 Modest did with Salamence. Like what the damage did. I'm gonna Google that, or I'm gonna calc that now. But Hawlucha, I do believe that I didn't kill. So I'm gonna type in my Salamence. I have to do it manually. That's fine. This. If I'm right, otherwise I made a bad play here. $40. Modest. Hidden Power Flying. To a uninvested Hawlucha, I'm doing a lot. To a standard Hawlucha, I'm doing like 70%. But this Hawlucha, again, I don't remember what the calc was, but I know that Hidden Power Flying does not kill. It is 79.7 to 95.4 to uninvested to what it was, which was fully invested. I do 66 to 77. 66 to 79. I knew. Somehow I had to damage the obvious Hawlucha here. I knew the second I saw Coco, he's going for U-turn. He's going into Hawlucha and he's going for game. So, what do I do? What do I do to stop this? I have a Celerock, I have Fire Fang, Crunch, and Drill Run. I click Fire Fang because I know he's going to U-turn. I don't need damage off on Coco. I need damage off on Hawlucha to not lose. He goes for the U-turn as predicted. I clicked Fire Fang because I knew he was going to go into Hawlucha. Crunch was not doing as much damage. Fire Fang was the best chance I had to do as much damage to this Hawlucha as possible so that Salamence could pick it off. So he comes in, his Electric Seed goes off. I go for Fire Fang. And I get that much damage off on him, which is potentially in range of my Salamence. So here, I'm going to say my Lycanroc can potentially win me late game, except for the fact that I did not defog, I do not have defog, and it dies on re-entry. If I defog on this thing instead of Flamethrower, it'd be really, really nice. And this last end game would have gone differently. But I go off, I get the Intimidate off and everything. He goes for Acrobatics. It does crap of damage. I cannot afford for him to roost or anything. I go for the Hidden Power Flying. As he actually SD, which is beautiful, I might add, and I kill off this Hawlucha. So, Hawlucha dies. I'm kind of like in the mindset that I'm going to lose, but I'm going to make all the plays that I think I need in off chance I can win. Deoxys comes out, not gotten damage off on this thing except for like 12%. He goes for Ice Beam, reveals that he has it, kills me off. I think I clicked Roar. Or I think I clicked Hidden Power Flying, something. If I could have defogged before I died, it would have been a lot better. But I go to Zebstrika, my Assault Vest, max for def Zebstrika, as he does that. I believe he thought that my Lycanroc still could live re-entry, so that's why he did that. But I go for Thunderbolt. I get a crit. Electric Terrain boosted crit. That did a lot. That was like amazing to me. It ended up like it was a roll. Spoiler alert: the next Thunderbolt does not kill, but 3 Thunderbolts, one Electric Terrain, one of them being Electric Terrain boosted, was a roll to kill this Coco, which the crit kind of like took away that chance for him, which sucks. And I'm sorry. However, he chokes here. He's going for Hidden Power Ice. He actually has an invested Brave Bird. He has a 236 in attack investment, Choice Scarf, Brave Bird. He could have gone for, which would have done more damage. But he clicks Hidden Power Ice. He doesn't know why. I don't know why. He clicked Hidden Power Ice. It got some damage off. I'm at 75. I'm actually out of range of 2 Ice Beams. And it's a roll to potentially kill this Deoxys, depending on what his investment is. He's actually like barely invested. So that Thunderbolt comes off. It does that much damage. He goes for Ice Beam. And he actually does not kill. My Thunderbolt, well, of course he doesn't actually kill. My Thunderbolt does kill. And his Deoxys goes down. And by the skin of my damn teeth, we pull out a win versus Omega. Which was absolutely insane to me. Wow, the thing keeps playing. I just realized that the thing just keeps going. Okay, so like 3 more minutes. Aaron kept playing the game. Shout out to Aaron, by the way. Hey, Aaron 2420 for genning and recording for me again, even though I pay him, but he's still a goat for doing it. Anyway, a very, very close game, a ridiculously close game. Scary stuff. But we did pull out a win, and that's very nice. We are still at the top of our division. We are 4-2, and we are looking really good for potential playoffs. Next week we're losing. I know I said that last week. I know I said that this week. But next week we're losing, because we're facing Matt O'Shea and his Montreal Thunder Wavers. So that's going to be fun. He has threats. But anyway, that's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Huge shoutouts to Omega. Sorry for the rolls and everything. Either way, it was an amazing battle. It was an amazing, amazing battle. Skin in my teeth, pulled out a win. But next week we face Matt, and hopefully we don't lose. But I'll see you guys then. I hope you guys enjoyed again, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace!